On this episode of Let's Drive, we're driving another 25-year-old Ford, but this time it's British. So come on in. The AC is nice and cold. Alright, so what do I have the pleasure of driving today? So, this is a 2000 Jaguar S-Type. This is the base model, not the Type R. So, this has the 3-liter dual overhead cam V6 from Ford. This is the Duratec V6. It's making 240 horsepower and about 224 foot-pounds of torque, rear-wheel drive, independent suspension all the way around, and I'd say this thing is probably about the size of like a BMW 3 Series. Like, it's nice, it's nimble. Even 26 years later, I can't help but smell the British leather. So, back in 1999, Ford had purchased Jaguar in an attempt to go after a lot of the European brands. So, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and in some case, and Volkswagen. They had aimed to try and take some of their demographic. So they took the Jaguar platform and they built this thing. The S-Type was specifically designed to compete with the 3 Series. The Type R was a bit of a jab towards the M3. Hence why that one has a 4-liter V8 in the front. Even though everything on the surface is Jaguar, under the hood, it's all Ford. Switches, Ford. Some of the plastic pieces, Ford. The hazard light here, straight out of a Ford Focus. The engine, it's a dual overhead cam Duratec 3-liter V6. This is the exact same engine that you'd find in a Taurus or a Escape of a similar spec. Miles per gallon is about, on average, for what you would see of a V6 rear-wheel drive architecture of this type. 18 city, 26 highway. By today's standard, it's really nothing to write home about. You don't really see a lot of Jaguars on the road anymore, which is honestly kind of sad, because I've grown to absolutely love this styling. It's round, it's unique. Everything is boxy, everything is straight, everything is bland. When's the last time you've seen round headlights? Unfortunately, they sold it off to Tata Motors, an Indian company, in 2008. So if you want a Ford-derived Jaguar, you only have about 9 years to buy from. But let me tell you, within those 9 years, this is actually a pretty damn good car. Being that it's independent suspension all the way around, this thing was built for the corners. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if Ford kept Jaguar. Like, if they never sold it to Tata and they just kept developing it, what would happen? If I were to put my tinfoil hat on for a minute and think about what kind of company Jaguar would be if Ford kept them around, I can imagine this easily being pretty dominant in the small sports luxury car market with the modern technologies, but the British styling and luxury. But let's say the base model has the 2.3 turbo, or the 2.3 EcoBoost in the front with the same 8-speed transmissions. Still make this thing rear-wheel drive, because remember, we're going after BMW, and we're going after BMW and Mercedes here. All of those are still rear-wheel drive. If you wanted the mid-trim model, you could get the one with the 3.5-liter, either naturally aspirated or the EcoBoost, depending on what they could fit in here. Realistically, it probably would be the naturally aspirated one. Let's see what this Jaguar 5-speed is capable of. Woo! Now we're awake. Oh, we are awake. This thing just comes alive in the turns. It just held on. That independent rear suspension is really putting a lot of work in. And honestly, this is worth it. This is what this car was meant to do. This car was meant to just eat up turns and just carve down a canyon. All right, we just got off the windy roads. Let's see how we do on the highway. That was straight to 6,800 RPM. All the way to red line. Did not care. That's amazing. All right, I'm having way too much fun driving this car and just absolutely tearing up these back roads. So I'm gonna get going for now, and I'm gonna do a couple more passes on this road. This car is so much fun. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys on the next adventure. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.